यो चाहिँ गेत्सेमानी बगैँचा जहाँनिर येशू ख्रिस्टले 3 चोटिसम्म प्रार्थना गर्नुभएको थियो यहाँनिर गेत्सेमानीको बगैँचा हामी यो प्रवेश गर्दैछौँ। यो केही अलिभ ट्रिजहरू छ। यो चाहिँ येशू ख्रिस्टको पालादेखिकै हो भन्छ 2000 वर्ष जति भयो अरे। त्यसको मतलब विश्वास गरिन्छ यो येशू ख्रिस्टकै पालाको भनेर मानिन्छ। यो गेत्सेमानी बगैँचामा पनि क्याथोलिकहरूले उनीहरूको छेउमा चर्च बनाएको छ। त्यो बाटोबाट यहाँनिर यो गेत्सेमानी बगैँचामा बनाइएको चर्च। धेरैजना यहाँ आएर प्रार्थना गर्छन्। यो चाहिँ ग्रिक अर्थोडक्स चर्च अरे अनि उनीहरूको विश्वास अनुसार चाहिँ मरियमलाई चाहिँ यहाँनिर गाडिएको छ भनेर उनीहरूले विश्वास गर्दो रहेछ।
Have a great view of the southern steps. If you look down there, okay, just below the Great Dome and a little bit more to the right. Tomorrow we will visit with Zeeb. Okay, we're going to go over there also to the southern step. We saw them, okay, from many places. Now, have a look at me for a second. If you have a look in this direction, you see that the tower over there.
Jerusalem Mandir.
We're going to go over there.
Jerusalem ka mandir.
To the highest point on the.
Let's not get us straight on.
That's true.
Now, later on, I will show you.
Alexandri, येशूलाई पक्रेर सबैभन्दा पहिले चाहिँ पेन्टस पिलातसको अगाडि लगेको थिएन, तर यहुदीहरूकै बिचमा राखिएको थियो यहुदीहरूको जेलमा। र त्यो जेललाई हेर्न हामी जाँदैछौँ यहाँनिर। अनि यहाँनिरबाट चाहिँ त्यो यहुदीहरूको जेल देखिन्छ। येशूलाई पक्रेर पहिलो रात चाहिँ यहाँ राखिएको थियो।
Try to move a little bit, those of you over there, so that the people can take a picture. This is a copy of an ancient
यहाँनिर येशूलाई विशेष गरेर पहिलो दिनको सतावर चाहिँ येशूलाई यहाँनिर गरिएको थियो। यहाँ मुनि चाहिँ जेल देख्नुहुन्छ येशूलाई।
Pastor, if you can move 1 second, I want to show you.
यो स्टोन देख्दै गरेको स्टोन चाहिँ ओरिजिनल स्टोन रहेछ बिजेन्टिन चर्चको, जुन चाहिँ 4th सेन्चुरीमा बनाएको थियो। येशू बित्नुभएको 4th स्वर्ग आउनुभएको 4थो
Look, and we know we have prisons anywhere, and most of the archaeologists, what they do is they compare things. If I discover something and I know there is a similar thing somewhere else, I know exactly what it is. Look at the holes over here, and this is obviously new, but this is how they used to hold the prisoners in the prison. Okay? The hole over here, and you see holes all over. Sometimes they were held like this and they were suffering. Sometimes they were held by the shoulders as well, as we saw the picture, okay, over there. So you can imagine it was filled with many prisoners over there. There is another section, the second section that we're going to see.
यो चाहिँ येशूको स्लाइड पहिलोचोटि पहिलो रात पक्रेको रात चाहिँ राखेको जग्गा।
He knew every hour, every minute. And I'm imagining this time, when he's spending this time, he's thinking about us. He's thinking about why he's going through what he's going through. And that's because he has all of us in mind. And I'm reminded of Psalms 22. And, just starting with verse 5, I can just read just a couple of verses. They cried out to you, were saved. They trusted you and were never disgraced. And I want to jump down to verse 7, where it says, everyone who sees me mocks me. They sneer and
When we finish down there, we're going to go out.
Yes, sorry, 50. Yes, sorry. 05 or 50. Can you hear me now? No. Put down your earphones. You can take them from there.
यो चाहिँ येशू ख्रिस्टलाई अब पक्रेर लगेको ठाउँ अनि यही बाटो भएर चाहिँ येशू ख्रिस्टलाई पिलातसको सम्म लगेको रहेछ।
But I will ask you, 10 o'clock
यो बाटोबाट नै येशू ख्रिस्टलाई पिलातस कहाँ पुर्याएका थिए रोमी यहाँको गभर्नरकोमा यो भेटो नि
How the place is described, and then you see one after the other the things
possibly could be the site of where the crucifixion took place. And I'm going to explain now why they thought it was here. So firstly, we read in the Bible, as many of you will know, that Jesus was taken outside the city to be crucified. And these are the city walls here. They're the walls of... and then the other one on the other side, that was what this looked like around the 1920s. Okay. So this is the kind of thing that General Gordon would have saw earlier, obviously, but anyway. So it was...
यो चाहिँ कलवारीको गलगथा भन्ने जग्गा जहाँनिर चाहिँ येशू ख्रिस्टलाई क्रुसिफाइड गरिएको थियो यरुसलेमको बाटोकै छेउमा पर्छ यो जुन येशूलाई जहाँ राखिएको थियो शनिबारको दिन त्यो चाहिँ रोडको छेउमा पनि पर्छ अनि यरुसलेमको मुख्य सहर जाने वरपर जाने बाटो किनकि सुसमाचारको किताबमा भनिएको छ कि येशूलाई बाटो हिँड्नेले पनि सराप्दै हिँड्थे अनि धेरैजनाले येशू ख्रिस्टलाई गिल्ला गरेको कुरा पाउँछौँ यो चाहिँ यहीँ थियो भनेर भनिएको छ
This again is around the 1920s. Sorry, I can leave that there. So I brought you here because in John's Gospel, chapter 19, verse 42, we would read that near the place where Jesus was crucified, there was a garden. And in the garden, there was a tomb. Now, if you look over here to the left, this is a wine press that was excavated as the gardeners who had his own tomb. And it was, as I said,
यसलाई राखेको टुन चाहिँ यो येशू ख्रिस्टको कब्रस्तान
And then we come to the tomb in a moment. Here we are. So it speaks of around Jerusalem, the cisterns that leaked and things like that. This one doesn't, thankfully. So it waters our garden all the way through the summer, following the winter rains. But as he was looking for it, actually, if you imagine all of this was underground. It was uncovered. But in 1867, he started to dig looking for a cistern. Then he came across this as he dug, a rock face, and in the rock face was a tomb. So he called Conrad Schick, the street you came up, is named after him. He was an archaeologist, a historian, and a theologian. And he began to do some work in excavating the tomb. It is a second temple Jewish family tomb. So the kind that would have been around at the time of Jesus. And this is what it looked like. And in front of it, there was a trough that could possibly have been for feeding animals, but also for rolling the stone, the stone that would have been in front of the door. Now sadly, the stone is completely rolled away and gone off, we have no idea where. But the door would have been much shorter then. And then and there's a replica just down as we go down now to the tomb. We can say a little bit more before we go into the tomb, and then we'll go on into the tomb. Generational. And that's why Joseph of Arimathea was very happy to give his tomb to Jesus, because he thought in a year's time I will have my own tomb back and Jesus will be in an ossuary. Obviously Jesus had other ideas, which we'll come on to. And this is a ventilation shaft for the decomposition process, the smells. They would have had a like, chimney coming out, because people would have gone in and attended the body. The gravestone, the stone that rolled away, would have been just...
यहाँनिर चाहिँ येशू ख्रिस्टलाई राखेको टुन कब्रस्तान येशू ख्रिस्टलाई राखेको कब्रिस्तानको अगाडिको यो जग्गा यहाँनिर चाहिँ येशू ख्रिस्टलाई राखिएको थियो। हाम्रो टिमहरू भित्र जाँदै हेर्दै फर्किँदैछन्। यति धेरै मान्छेहरू यहाँनिर आइरहेछ अनि सबै चाहिँ येशू ख्रिस्टको कब्रिस्तानलाई हेर्नको निम्ति यहाँनिर आइरहेछ। पालो पालो गर्दै यहाँनिर आएर पर्छ। यति धेरै मान्छेहरू छ। यहुदीहरूको विश्वास अनुसार चाहिँ येशू ख्रिस्ट आउनुहुनेछ र येशू ख्रिस्टको आगमनमा चाहिँ यो डाँडा चाहिँ ओलिभ डाँडा हो। यो ओलिभ डाँडाबाट चाहिँ यो कब्रिस्तान हो। ओलिभ डाँडाको यो कब्रिस्तानबाट चाहिँ येशू ख्रिस्ट यो तल भ्याली भएर चाहिँ उक्लिनुहुन्छ र यो जेरुसलेम सहरको पूर्वपट्टिको ढोका हो, द इस्ट गेट। र यो इस्ट गेट भएर चाहिँ पूर्वी ढोका भएर चाहिँ येशू ख्रिस्ट जेरुसलेम सहरमा प्रवेश गर्नुहुन्छ भन्ने उनीहरूको विश्वास छ। पूर्वी गेट चाहिँ यहाँनिर पर्छ। अनि यहाँ एउटा भनाइ छ, त्यहाँनिर 3वटा गेट देखिन्छ। एउटा देब्रेपट्टि र एउटा त्यो दाहिनेपट्टि 2वटा गेट चाहिँ बन्द गरिएको गेट छ। त्यो गेट चाहिँ सुलेमानको समयमा कसैले म येशू भनेर मसाया भनेर जुटो आएको थियो अरे। त्यसै कारण सुलेमान राजाले नै 500 वर्ष अगाडि बन्द गरेको गेट अरे। त्यहाँबाट चाहिँ कोही पनि पस्नु दिएको छैन अरे त्यहाँबाट चाहिँ, किनकि त्यो गेट चाहिँ मसायाको लागि मात्रै हो भनेर उनीहरूले विश्वास गर्छन्। यो बाटोबाट चाहिँ येशू ख्रिस्ट यरुसलेम सहरमा राजा घोषणा गरेर प्रवेश भएको, विजय प्रवेश गरेका बाटो जहाँनिर चाहिँ मानिसहरू हजारौँ मानिसहरू वरपरबाट वरिपरिबाट चाहिँ यहाँनिर खजुरका पातहरू ओछ्याएका अनि यहाँबाट चाहिँ येशू ख्रिस्ट यरुसलेम सहरमा प्रवेश गर्नुभएको हो भनेर विश्वास गरिन्छ। र यो बाटो आज हामी ओह्रालो जाँदैछौँ। येशू ख्रिस्टको यात्रा भएको बाटो यहाँबाट।